Hello everyone. I'm doing this presentation in English. My Spanish is not so good, I'm sorry for that. And I think most people will understand me if I speak English. So my name is Pedro Simões. I'm head of market intelligence of Invest Rio. It's a pleasure to be here. I only have 10 minutes, short time, lots of good news, so let's start. So I'd like to start by saying that Rio is a global city, but it has its own character as a global city. That's why we like to say three letters, one brand, Rio. So there are many institutes that classify a city as global, and Rio ranks well in most of them. Like in infrastructure, we have an advanced transportation system. We're host to some of the biggest events of the world, like the Echo ever since the 90s with Echo 1992, and last year with the G20 and the BRICS meeting this year. As the former capital of Brazil, of course, many of the most important institutions in the country are hosted here in Brazil, or headquarters here in Rio. For instance, we have the National Library of Brazil, which is considered the most important in the Southern Hemisphere. It's right here. Those are the kind of things that make a city global. The city itself is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in a category of its own, and we are the only metropolis that ranks amongst the 10 most sought-after summer destinations in the world. So this makes what we like to call a unique lifestyle, a Carioca lifestyle. So we're right here, all working, having business discussions and everything. But if you have some 2 hours in the afternoon, you can just go across the street and, for a swim, for a run. And this is what we like to call the Carioca lifestyle. So these are some of the things we'd like to highlight in that lifestyle. Of course, we are one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I don't think I have to speak much more about this. You can all see that. Yesterday we had some rain, but now we have some sunshine, so it's easier to see how beautiful it is. But we're not only a beautiful city, we're also a very strong city regarding the economics. We have a very strong economy. Our GDP in 2021, which is the last year for that we have the data available, the GDP was 360 million reais. Considering the exchange rate today, it will be around $72 billion. That makes it that makes Rio rank would make Rio rank as more than 50% of the Latin American countries. That would make it makes us the second largest economy in Brazil, and it would be like the size of Uruguay, for instance. So it's a big economy. 4 of the 10 largest Brazilian companies are headquartered here in Rio. 6.2 million inhabitants, that's considering only the city. If you consider the whole metropolitan area, that number will go above 10 million. Last year we created 77,000 jobs, and we are considered the first emerging business ecosystem in Latin America for startups. And of course, in that context, tourism is a priority to the city. We received 1.5 million international tourists in 2024, and we have a forecast of 13% growth in that number, bringing it to 1.7 million in 2025. And according to the same study, the same estimate, for domestic tourists, the number was 10.8, and we're expecting to bring that to 12.4 million domestic tourists in 2025. So for the two groups, the two kind of tourists, we expect a growth of 15% in 2025. But recent data that we've been getting from, hard data, as we economists call it, but also from soft data, shows that even this forecast of 15%, we may have to bring it up a little bit, because the numbers in the beginning of this year are really good. For instance, Rio was the 7th most searched destination for these 3 first months of the year for reservations. In this 3 first months of the year, that It is a 102% increase compared to the same period of last year. But as I said, not only this kind of data shows that the tourism sector is really doing well in Rio recently. This is a index calculated by the Brazilian Institute for Statistics, IBGE. This is for the state of Rio, but considering the weight of the capital in the whole state, this is a good proxy for what's happening in the city. So ever since the impact of COVID, Rio has been outperforming Brazil in the growth of this tourism sector. This is specifically touristic activities, service activities. So as you can see, ever since 2023, we've been consistently growing above Brazil. But of course, our focus isn't only on the leisure tourism, also business and event tourism. This is a number for the whole of Brazil, a 20% increase in 2023, with $2.7 billion in revenue. This one on your right, specific about Rio, the event sector in the city recorded a growth of 45.2% in 2024, because we're hosts of events like these ones and like this one that we're having here. So with that, occupancy rate has grown, has been growing. We reached in 2023 pre-pandemic levels. And considering some numbers that we saw in some presentations yesterday, some great presentations yesterday, that number in 2024 probably grew as well. So just to be more specific about the calendar of events that is helping us to get to those numbers, as you can see, that calendar is becoming fuller and fuller every year. And this is also helping to tackle seasonality in the occupancy rates. Just to show some figures of the economic impact of those events in Rio, Carnival this year, an estimated impact of 5.7 billion reais, that in dollars like around $1 billion, 2.9 billion reais for the last edition of Rock in Rio, 3.2 billion reais for New Year's Eve, 1.5 billion for the Web Summit Rio, which is taking place here in Rio this April. This is an estimate for 2003 all the way to 2028, but this doesn't consider the business and that happens around it, the deals that are closed and everything. This is just the impact in tourism. So those figures are probably even higher of the whole economic impact. These are some of the brands and chains that are already here with us. I hope to see more of you guys here, more brands next year. And thank you very much.